Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here at Bitcoin and Crypto News. Today is Sunday, July 25th, 2021. And today we're going to take a look at some of the most interesting news stories in the crypto space. If this is your first time checking out the channel, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Before we get into the news, let's take a look at some of the price action on this Sunday morning. After a very strong weekend where we saw Bitcoin rise from around $30,000 to as high as $34,700, Bitcoin is now trending right around $34,000. As we take a look at the top 10 coins, nearly everything is in the red for the last 24 hours, with only Bitcoin being up 0.2% and the famous Dogecoin up 0.1%. And as we scroll down, going past the top 10, we can see even more red. And right now we have Bitcoin trading at $34,000, so it'll be key to see if it's able to keep that as support or if it's going to drop down below back into 33,000 and lower. But as the market looks to trend sideways, that's enough of the price action, so let's get into the first news story. And let's start this fine Sunday off with the bearish news first, and that comes from us from BlockFi, who has released a statement that Vermont has joined the ranks of the states issuing a probe into the cryptocurrency lending platform, joining the likes of New Jersey, Alabama, and Texas. So there hasn't been that much information released yet into whether the probe from Vermont is the same as the other three states or if they're looking into something different. Just to recap, the initial probe came from New Jersey, and it was questioning whether BlockFi's interest accounts violate local security laws. New Jersey has given BlockFi a deadline of July 29th to explain and to respond. So we should have an answer from BlockFi sometime next week. As it stands right now, after July 29th, BlockFi will not be able to open new accounts in New Jersey, but we will have to track that as the week progresses and see what kind of news comes out from the BlockFi. BlockFi isn't the only crypto company that finds itself in a little bit of hot water. Switching over to Coinbase. Coinbase was hit by a security class action lawsuit following its $86 billion NASDAQ listing earlier this year. According to the suit, Coinbase's public listing was false and misleading. Allegedly, at the time of its listing, Coinbase failed to clarify that it needed, in quotes, a sizable cash injection and that its platform was susceptible to service-level disruptions, which was increasingly likely to occur as the company scaled its service to a larger user base. And if you've been in the crypto space for the past few years, I'm sure you've dealt with the Coinbase outages, which seem to always happen as volatility increased. So this isn't the first time that Coinbase has found themselves being sued. In the past, they've been sued for a plethora of reasons, including their well-known outages, which caused individuals to be unable to access their account during large price swings. However, this is the first suit filed against them as a publicly traded company, so it will certainly be something that we need to keep track of and keep an eye on. Looking at the price action of Coinbase's stock coin, a large part of this lawsuit may just be that the defendants are not happy that they paid nearly $400 per share for a stock that peaked out at $429 and now is trading at around $226 per share. As the market continues to evolve and go more mainstream, additional lawsuits and regulations are something we can certainly count on happening to not only these two companies, but many in the space. Okay, and that's enough of the negative news. Let's switch over to some more positive stories. And the first one comes to us from the New Jersey Pension Fund. A big part of the advancement of crypto and its mainstream adoption is retirement funds and pensions getting involved in the market. Well, another pension has joined in on the crypto market, with news breaking that the New Jersey pension invested $7 million in Bitcoin mining stocks last quarter. So although it wasn't directly into Bitcoin itself, they are essentially investing in the plumbing of the Bitcoin network. The state-managed pension fund ended June with $3.6 million in Riot blockchain and around $3.3 million in Marathon Digital Holdings, according to disclosure documents. These are two of the largest mining operations available on the market at the current time. So to see a state like New Jersey, who on one hand launched the probe into BlockFi, while on the other hand investing nearly $7 million into Bitcoin mining, just goes to show you the potential opportunity of the space as a whole. Pensions getting involved in the crypto space has really become a question of when they will get involved rather than if they will get involved. Since pensions typically allocate a large percentage of their portfolio to the bond market, they are faced with the hard fact that, at least for now, bonds are not something you want to hold with the rates increasingly going down, which is forcing them to find a better asset to hold, and Bitcoin gives them an asset that they can move a small percentage to and potentially reap large returns. Here's a view of the 10-year Treasury bond, which you can see back in 1981 had a yield of 14.6%, which went on to bottom out in March of 2008, dropping to around 2.6%, which by today's standards is a bargain, where the current yield is hovering around 1.3 and 1.4%. The most recent yield from July 22nd was 1.27%. So as Treasury yield rates are at an all-time low, this is forcing the hand of pension funds to figure out where they can allocate their money, simply just to combat inflation. In other news, there may be a Bitcoin ATM coming to a convenience store near you. Circle K is deploying Bitcoin ATMs in its stores across the US and Canada. More than 700 machines operated by Bitcoin Depot have already been installed. In an announcement from Bitcoin Depot, in regards to their relationship with Circle K, they said, as one of the world's leading convenience and fuel retailers, Circle K is the first major retail chain to deploy Bitcoin ATMs within its stores. Circle K is a global brand, a leader in convenience and fuel, with more than 14,200 stores operating in 26 countries and territories. Circle K has made a partnership with Bitcoin Depot to be the provider of their ATMs. Bitcoin Depot is based in Atlanta, Georgia, and currently has 3,793 cryptocurrency ATMs, making it the largest crypto ATM operator ahead of CoinCloud with 2,628 machines and CoinFlip, who has 2,499 machines. This is yet another example of cryptocurrency going more and more mainstream. Between just these three companies, there are nearly 9,000 ATMs, which is certainly going to be a number which only continues to increase as Bitcoin adoption continues to increase. Our next story comes to us from CNBC, who published an article titled, "With Crypto Tokens, Wash Sale Rules Don't Apply," meaning that you can sell your Bitcoin and buy it right back, whereas with the stock, you would have to wait 30 days. This is due to the fact that the IRS classifies digital currencies like Bitcoin as property, so losses on crypto holdings are treated much differently than losses on stocks and mutual funds. A big benefit of being able to sell your coins and purchase them right back without having to wait the 30 days like you would with a traditional stock. This means that you're able to gather losses and purchase your position right back. And since you can carry your losses for multiple years as a tax write-off, this offers a great way to help offset your future tax burden when the prices do rise and you take profits. CNBC provides an example towards the bottom of the article. The example they use is where a taxpayer purchases one Bitcoin for $10,000 and then later sells it for $50,000. That individual would face $40,000 of taxable capital gains. But if the same taxpayer had previously harvested $40,000 worth of losses on earlier crypto transactions, they'd be able to offset the taxes they owe, reducing their tax burden to $0. Although this sounds simple enough, you have to keep in mind that the IRS will certainly want detailed records to prove your claims, which may cause many people to find themselves in hot water with the IRS. So although this sounds like a good idea, it definitely takes some planning, some strong record keeping, to ensure that you keep track of every buy, sell, and trade, as well as some luck to time the market to make sure you're buying back in before the price goes up. Alright, and that's going to do it for this Sunday. That's all the news I have for you today. And before we leave for the day, let's switch over back to CoinGecko and see what's going on with the price. So while we've been recording, the price of Bitcoin actually went up around $200 and is almost up 1 full percent. So the market's going a little bit green, but overall seems to really just be one of those sideways days. So I want to thank you very much for joining me. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe. Thanks again for joining me here today, and have a great day.